Hey everyone, it's Angie. Welcome back to my channel, Angie and the Great World. I was looking at myself. Do I need to look? No, I think I need to look at myself. Anyways, welcome to my channel, Angie and the Great World. This morning I watched a video from Berna over at Berna's Bookish Adventures, where she did try a chapter for the books on her want to read shelf on Goodreads. And on my old Goodreads account, I have something like 1,500 titles. And I had been toying with the idea of transferring all those titles to my new Goodreads account. But I would have to do it one title at a time because I don't have access to my old account anymore. And so that was going to be too time consuming. So I decided after watching Berna's video that I would do what she did. She used a random number generator and she randomly selected books off her want to read shelf. She read the first chapter and she decided if it was a book she still wanted to read or not. If it wasn't, she took it off her want to read shelf. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to type in numbers 1 through 1,556, I think, into a random number generator. And whatever number it generates, I'm going to choose, let's do five numbers. Whatever numbers are generated, I will see if I can find copies of those books somewhere, Libby, Archive, wherever. I will read the first chapter from each book, and just like Berna, if I'm still interested in reading the book after reading the first chapter, then I'll leave it on my want to read shelf. If not, then I will delete it, and then that way I can decrease the number of books on my want to read shelf on my old Goodreads account so that I have fewer titles to transfer to my new Goodreads account, if that makes sense. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to record the numbers being generated. I'll just tell you which numbers were generated, which titles those numbers correspond to, and then I will tell you what I thought of each chapter. Okay, these are the numbers I rolled. 9, 210, 702, 1006, and 750. Also, I misspoke. I said I had 1,500 some titles. I actually have 1,156 titles on my to reads shelf on Goodreads. Okay, so I don't know what was going on with number 9, but I did not have a book numbered 9, but I did have 2 books numbered 10. So I went with American Gods by Neil Gaiman, which was the first book listed as 10. Number 210 was The Mountains of California by John Muir. 702 is Swallows and Amazons by Arthur Ransom. 1006 is An Orc on the Wild Side by Tom Holt. And 750 is The Summer Island Swap by Samantha Tonge, Tonge. Okay, so I'm sure I will not have access to some of these books. So I think my eyes just crossed for a minute while I was following that motorcycle. So what I'm going to do is, if I do not have access to some of these titles, if I can't find them anywhere where I have been reading my books from, then I will just generate a new number to take the place of whatever title I could not find. It's a couple hours later and I have read the first chapter in Neil Gaiman's American Gods. I am a little conflicted with this one. It sounds like there's going to be some cross-country travel, which is very interesting. But chapter 1 was a bit traumatizing. It was very tense. Wasn't expecting anything that happened in the chapter. I am a little curious, but I don't know. I don't know if it's, I think, like 450 pages long, and I don't know if I'm interested in investing that much time, that many pages in this book. So I'm on the fence about that one. Several hours later, and I have read the first chapter in Swallows and Amazons by Arthur Ransom. So as far as I can tell, this is about 4 siblings who get permission from their parents to live on an island that is a few miles from their farm. They can actually see the island from their farm. It's that close. And so they are going to live there for a while until it's time to return to school. I think it might be summertime right now. Well, it's got to be summertime. So they're on summer vacation. I don't know if this takes place in England or in Canada, but so far it's very delightful, and there was already food mentioned. So this is going to be added to my TBR. My hair is getting poofier as it continues to dry. Okay, so I didn't finish reading chapter 1. I did not finish reading chapter 1 in John Muir's book, The Mountains of California. So I think that right there tells you that I am not going to add it to my Goodreads TBR. I do want to read something by John Muir eventually. I just don't think it's going to be this book, and definitely not anytime soon. So yeah, that is going to be deleted. Well, no, not deleted, because I can't delete it off my old Goodreads account. I'm just not going to add it to my new Goodreads account. Also, I read The Mountains of California before Swallows and Amazons. I just forgot to film myself. It's me a few minutes later. It'll probably come as no surprise that I was not able to find An Orc on the Wild Side by Tim Holt anywhere online. It was not available on Libby. Like Libby, my library's Libby, did not have it. And Archive didn't have it at all. So I generated another number to replace An Orc on the Wild Side. I got number 859, which turned out to be Empires and Barbarians by Peter Heather. And as luck would have it, it is available on Archive. So I'm going to go ahead and try to read, if not all of chapter 1, at least part of it. Okay, so I have an update on Empires and Barbarians by Peter Heather. Okay, I read the prologue, and then I read the first couple of pages of chapter 1, and then I found myself skimming through the text, and I was really looking for a piece of writing that would really hook me in or reel me in, or for something that just seemed exciting. And I just was not interested or excited about what I was reading. And it is an 800-page book, nearly 800-page book, and I just don't think it's one that I'm interested in reading. The final book I was supposed to try a chapter was The Summer Island Swap by Samantha Tong. I could not find this anywhere, but I decided that it's not a book that I want to read anymore anyway. I'm not really interested in this book. I don't really read romance anymore, and this is romance, but I decided that I wanted to spin one more number, and I got number 719, which was Mezza Italiana, an enchanting story about love, family, la dolce vita, and finding your place in the world by Zoe Boccabella. I could not find this anywhere online, but I do know I want to read this, so I'm adding this to my Goodreads TBR, my new account, my newer account. Okay, so to recap, American Gods by Neil Gaiman, I have decided to add that to my to-reads shelf on my new Goodreads account. The Mountains of California by John Muir will not be added to my to-reads shelf. Swallows and Amazons by Arthur Ransom will be added to my to-reads shelf. An Orc on the Wild Side by Tom Holt. I'm not really interested in this anymore, so I won't be adding that one to my to-reads. The Summer Island Swap by Samantha Tong. Not interested in romances anymore, so that one will not be added to my new Goodreads shelf. And then Empires and Barbarians, I'm not adding that one. Mezza Italiana, I am adding that one to my Goodreads account.